Hi everybody, David from Pinecker01. This review, this how-to, actually how to set up and use and why to use a H2 water gas generator, got a little bit long, so I'm going to just give you a review here in the beginning, a little overview, and then I'm going to have chapter marks so you can skip ahead to the parts you want to see if you want to learn how to, right? So in a nutshell, I would give this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's made a lot of improvements since their last model. A couple things. One thing has gone a little bit backwards, just a minor thing, really. You just have to be careful, and that has to do with the USB charger. But for the rest, it's a fabulous unit. Another negative is the power button is all white, and so is the body, so it's hard to find where to turn it on exactly. But for the rest, you'll see it's a great improvement. Better quality. You feel it right away. It comes with a plug that you can plug it with when you're not using it to keep it in better condition for a longer time. It's a nice glass frame. It's got 2 tops, one for normal use and one for inhaler. So you have an inhaler unit with it, and the price is very, very, very good. So and this is a membrane unit, so that the ozone and other excess oxygen gases that they're not needed and will actually maybe be dangerous for you are filtered out, down, and out of the unit, so that you're getting in your water only infused H2, much higher quantities than naturally, because in water naturally it's in there as well. So I go into more benefits or information about what the benefits could be and what they are and how to use it. It's very important. This is not medical advice. Ask your doctor or health professional if you have any questions on this. But hydrogen, as far as I can tell, is harmless in this form to us and only could have potential positive benefits. I've been taking it for years in different forms and different products, and I'm just happy I could obtain this one to test it out. So 4.5 out of 5. The full video is going to begin now. Skip ahead to whatever you'd like to see. And if you're going to watch the whole thing, grab a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and or maybe a nice fresh glass of H2 infused water. All right. See you at the end of the video. Take care, David here from Pinecker01. Hi, everybody. David from Pinecker01 here. Today I acquired a new H2 water infuser, as I call them, H2 water generator. My old one back here, it still works, but I haven't used it for about a month now, maybe a little bit longer even. Just a little bit of a personal thing, but in any event, the new unit has a couple of improvements. One of them is a way to infuse the water through the nasal passage, to breathe it in, which of course was very popular at a certain time a couple years back. So I was always curious about that as well. They said it really helps improve your lung capacity and things like that. So we're going to try it out. We're going to open up the box, see what's in there, and then see how it all works. Before we get into that, I just want a brief intro. There's other videos I can go in more detail on this, but I've done a long study on water with Luc Montagnier and how water can hold memory. Of course, water is key to electricity, to conductivity, to the actual charge of the earth comes from thunder and lightning, from lightning, which forms in the moisture, the wet part of the cloud from water, from H2O. Good water is so important, and there's less and less on this, good earth that God made us. So it's very important, I think, to really take water and try to get it and condition it back to the base form, because much like E equals mc squared, energy is neither lost nor created, neither created nor lost. It is transferred. Water is basically never created or lost. It's just transferred. So you take it in, you take it out, and it goes into the ground, and it comes back out through moisture, through whatever event might happen, and it's back in the clouds, it rains, it goes in the water, and someone else drinks it again. The H2O molecules are very, very important to us, of course, but they might hold more metaphysical things than we ever could imagine, right? God's amazing. That's how I look at it. Everything I do is with God in mind. Thank you, God, for everything. And that's really my mantra, as it were, is nothing without God. So all of this is thanks to God. As far as I'm concerned, we don't even need any of this at a certain level. But once again, I just want to mention that I've been using the H2 water infuser for years. I really benefited from it. I lost close to 40 US pounds at a certain point back when I started this in 2018, 19, so it really was an amazing thing. Now, it wasn't just the H2 water infusers that helped do that, but now that I got a new one, I want to check it out. Let's get right into it. I don't want to tell you, too much about my story, but I really believe in good water, and the H2, the hydrogen, is the smallest particle in the universe. And when it's naturally in water anyway, but when you infuse more, it apparently from all scientific reports doesn't harm anything, and it only has benefits or potential benefits. Some things are still being studied. So when you ingest water with more hydrogen, it penetrates in through membranes and cells that normally you might not get to if it just had a little bit of hydrogen in the water. But if you have it infused with hydrogen, it's going to help get to other areas and help vitalize and revitalize your body in ways that we might not have known before. So water is key, and getting the hydrogen throughout your body is key for digestivity and for a lot of other things like fixing certain ailments and stuff like that. So let's get into opening up the box here. It's a beautiful box. By PhiPower here. I'm in the Netherlands, and it's Dutch design, made in China, of course. That's where they're all made, basically. But it's basically when you buy one of these, you want to make sure you get a good one where the excess gases are being disposed of properly, the ozone and what have you, that is a byproduct of the electrolysis, which creates or infuses the hydrogen. So the hydrogen goes up in the water, and the ozone and some other elements go down through the membrane where it can't get back up again because it's heavier anyway. But even if you would shake it a little bit, it would still stay down there in most cases. And then that exits out of the bottom of the unit. So that's what you want to make sure you have a good unit that's getting rid of the ozone. Otherwise, you're just drinking ozone mixed in hydrogen. That's not the idea. But really, a beautiful box. It reminds me a lot of the Apple-esque type of things, work a lot with the Apple products, and they always have great packaging, which is really cool. This really has a really cool, beautiful packaging, beautiful box, fits like a glove, comes off perfectly, and there you get your nice thing. So I really like people that companies that show good design mean they really get behind their product. So that's very, very positive. Here is the mini user manual. There's a full PDF. I noticed it's a completely new manual. It's a fantastic manual. It goes into a lot of the benefits of why hydrogen, what is hydrogen, and there's a lot of information just on this one right here alone, including how to, the quick setup, as it were. When we go further into the box, we see now the main unit here. And this is how the main unit looks. Wow, it looks really, really fancy. Really beautiful. Got some tips on there they plastered on. And of course, different notices. There's your power outlet. And here's where you, of course, put the water in. It's got a new, different fitting. This one here, the new one feels a lot better quality. This one feels a lot cheaper. Everything's a little bit cheaper on the old one. So I'm already feeling very good with this one. Here is a cover pressure relief vent. I believe this has to do with the inhaling part of it. You see the nice membrane work in there to keep all the gases in, the hydrogen in, so that it will infuse in the water. Once you generate hydrogen water, you want to drink it within 10 to 15 minutes, or cap it and then drink it later. But hydrogen is so small, it basically escapes very quickly, so you want to drink it right away. And this is undoubtedly the inhaler unit, and this is, of course, the USB charger, similar to the old unit. Oh, it feels very good quality. So I imagine this goes on top of the unit here like that, and you put this in there, and then you hook up the inhaler things right into your nostrils in some fashion. So very interesting, really interested, to try that out. What's great, another thing on the water, I have here the also by PhiPower. This unit here is creating pH valued water and filtering the water as well. So I'm putting good water into my unit. Just want to make mention of that as well. And most importantly, like I mentioned here, is the exhaust vent. Now in the old unit, the exhaust vent wasn't, you had to like poke it open yourself. I was very confused by that. I gave feedback to the manufacturer about that, and now you have a whole little hole there. Whereas in the old one, you see I had to poke it in myself. So I poked it in myself, and it would escape there. But now we have an actual escape hatch, as it were. So you can actually let the gases that would go below the membrane here, they'll go down here into ozone and they'll come out. So that's very, very, very good. Please do not turn on the power if no water in the cup. Exactly. If you turn on the power accidentally, push the button, you want to turn it off right away because it will ruin your device if it stays on too long. A second or three is not going to be a big deal, but you don't want to let it go. Remove the orange silicone plug before use and keep properly. Right, so down here in below, I guess it's better to do it like this on the bottom part. Take that off. There's an orange cap. You want to remove that. So we will do that now, because this is the whole key of the unit, is right in here. Wow, it even made a little suction sound, so it was really well in there. So that's really cool. And we'll put that back on here for right now. Fits nice and snug. Beautiful. Before the first time we use it, they probably mention it here. You want to fill up a little bit of water for a few hours, 2 to 3 hours, let the membranes get activated, as it were, so they'll work more properly. It goes over all the parts we just showed you right here in the mini instructions. Once again, the big instruction manual PDF I'll put in too, because it's really amazing. 240 milliliter. I drink one of these a morning when I'm in my flow. Sometimes if I'm training or feeling a bit weathered or what have you, I'll drink 2 or 3 of these a day. You can drink pretty much as much water as you want, as you know. Well, actually, you don't want to drink too much water. Okay, what we're going to do now, we're going to set up the water in here. We're going to let it sit for a few hours, and we'll come back later and continue the video. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on the valve here to use the filtered and pH level water. Now 8.6. I like it. That's pretty good water right there too. And basically, what you do, you just fill up your unit, and you fill it right up to the top. And you want to get it pretty close to the top so gases don't I love the music. My wife doesn't like the music, but what I love is my kids all use these things now. They're also getting into the benefits of healthy water. Anyway, you want to fill it up as close as possible, because this does have it does go in. You see the cap has like an indentation, so it's going to go in. So it doesn't have to be totally up to the top, but sorry, I take that back. You want to get it right up to the top of this level. So that's a little bit too much. That's probably good. So the indentation goes right in there. And that's how you set her up, and then you turn her on. You gotta charge her up first. But I just wanted to give her a good cleaning here first. So I'm gonna take off the base. And now that the base, don't use any solvents or anything on the base. Watch out for the electronics. Definitely watch out for this. What's nice about the old one, they had a cover over this. They don't have a cover, so you have to really keep that protected. And if you're going to do any kind of cleaning like this, just like that. You want to be very careful, because this membrane is the key to everything. Keep that dry. Okay, now this, the glass, you can
alkaline water level 2.
You can clean the glass with a little bit of, you know, light detergent and clean this out as fit, you know.
Alkaline water level 2.
Okay, so after cleaning, we put the device back together. You just screw it in, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Same applies here. And then I'm gonna just clean off the base again because I want to really want to keep any water out of there. Keep my thumb on there when filling. And now we don't need to fill it up all the way right now.
Alkaline water level 2.
But I am, because we're going to do the first test run in a few hours with a full batch that we'll give to the plants. Just a tad more. There we go. And then we'll just close her up. Now we're going to let her sit for about 2 or 3 hours. We're going to let her sit for about 2 or 3 hours, and then we'll continue the video. Never put these, or do not store these in sunlight. You want to keep them outside of sunlight, and you know, don't even run them in the sunlight. I mean, you can do it for a little bit, but the problem is that sun promotes sort of algae growth and that type of stuff. And I notice if you keep it out of the sunlight, you can go weeks and months without having to clean it. I mean, just like you ever been in church, you see how they use the same things over and over again, just with cleaning it with water and a nice you know, tedu, could you call that, you know, washcloth. So anyway, we're gonna let it sit for a few hours here in the dark area there, and we'll be back and see how it all works. So when you're charging, red indicates it's being charged. You unplug it. I just plugged in a wall outlet with an adapter, but you can plug in your computer or whatever USB charging device. You plug it in and it turns red. When it's charged, it'll turn green. In no time, it apparently is charged up when it comes, which is pretty cool. And turn it on, just go over here to the button right here. You can see it on this camera here. See it? Just push it. And you just push that button in. After turning on with that button, you hold it for 2 seconds. This will take 5 minutes for this cycle. I like about 7 or 8 minutes, so you can do it. You can do it again for as long as you like. The longer you do it, the more hydrogen that's going to be infused in your water. Once again, like everything, this is not medical advice, so check with your doctor if you have any questions. But as far as I'm concerned, hydrogen looks pretty harmless. But once again, you should really understand your own body and check with your own sources if this is right for you. Now, important tip, don't drink the first cup. Out of precaution, the instructions tell you that as well. Throw this one out and start the cycle again. Just throw the water out. I gave it to my plants, the basil there, and check out this one here. This one we just noticed, we thought it was dying, but look at that orchid. Beautiful. We just gave it a little bit because you don't want to give it too much when they're blooming. Beautiful orchid though. Okay, we'll hold it for about 2 seconds. There we go. Off she goes. Sometimes when I have time, I like to just sit there and watch it with nice relaxing music, and it has a calming effect just watching it generate hydrogen. Beautiful. Okay, there we go. Now I want you to notice something here. What I want you to notice is down below. You see the wetness there? That's where the excess is coming out, as it should. So that's the whole idea, is that the ozone and other gases that aren't good come out the bottom. They're heavier. In this case, hydrogen's lighter and generates and goes up to the top. All right, let's try it out. So be thankful when you drink the water. At least that's my recommendation. Of course, I'm thanking God and Jesus. You do whatever you want, but that's my recommendation. And it looks great. Check it out here in this one here. It looks like some great quality water right there. So, see how it tastes? It tastes great. It tastes really good. Now, obviously, it's hard to, but I really think it tastes better than like normal water. Of course, I have the pH balanced, filtered water, and hydrogen infused. Nonetheless, I think it tastes really, really good. Now, I get critique of my very first video. Someone said you're supposed to chug it, and it's probably right. To get the maximum hydrogen, you should open it right up and chug it. Like, you know, I don't like to do that. So I just like to enjoy it. And in the morning, I always do this in the morning. I do drink it pretty fast. But it really is delicious, refreshing. So that's how you get the drinking infused H2 water, you know, you can drink. Now let's check out how we do the inhaler. Really good. Okay, now to use the inhaler here, the same thing, it's filled up with water, but you need to change the top. So you take this one off, put it safely aside, and you put this one on. Of course, first you have to put in your filtered water if possibly possible. Obviously, you put this part in here, up top. Put that on top there, on the PhiPower unit. And then with these, you simply insert these in your nostrils. You don't want to have it too full as this. You want to have it a little less, so that it's the gas H2 getting in, and not necessarily you know, liquid into your lungs. That's not the idea, right? So then you turn it on again here. So you make sure that there's enough room that the no water is going to get in, no H2O, just the H, right? Now, obviously, a little bit of water is probably not bad, but you don't want to be. So you do that around your nose like that, around your ears, and you just breathe as normal. I've heard people who do this for 15 minutes up to an hour, just depending on your condition, what you need it for. Even sometimes, a doctor's advice. In Asia, they use this all the time. This is like doctors, that the insurance pays for it even, So hydrogen attacks the free radicals in your body. That's the advantage of hydrogen infusing into your system. That will help. Free radicals, of course, can cause cancers and all kind of other problems in your body. So that's one of the reasons why people use these H2 water generators or the inhaler like we're trying here. So that's the PhiPower H2 infuser, H2 water generator, which will infuse or pump tons of hydrogen into your water, so that when you ingest or drink your water, you're getting extra hydrogen in your body to let that do its magic that God has provided to go in there and help you tackle whatever it is your body needs to tackle. It's going to keep like a good engine, you have to keep it well oiled and greased. Same thing with your body. You have to keep it healthy. And by grease with our body, we don't want to put unnatural fats and bad things in there. We want to put good food in there. We want to put a lot of water. Water is the key. Water is the basics of everything. Water was there in Genesis 1 when God created everything. Water was just there. It was in a mist that was just present right from the very beginning of everything. So obviously water is vital. We all know that. Get good water. This unit is excellent. PhiPower, you can go to phipower.org for more information. Like I said, excellent group. They really put together some fine products over the years, and they're just getting better and better. So I'm really happy to have obtained this new unit. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Happy to answer. I've been using these things for years. Started with another product, back in 2017, 18, I guess it was 2018, I think it was. Really got into using it, and throughout the years, it's really helped me lose and keep off weight, including some other, of course, dietary changes and getting more active. Do a lot of that padel now. It's like pickleball in the U.S. They call it padel here in Europe. Fantastic sport. Nonetheless, stay active, stay hydrated, and enjoy this unit if that's what you're going to get or looking into getting. David from Pinehacker 01 wishing you a fantastic day. Take care.